Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for stopping by. So in my previous tutorial I showed you how to add pleats or gathers to the neck of your blouse to upgrade your basic pattern, and also in my other previous tutorials I showed you how to make this beautiful jumpsuit that I'm enjoying here. It's a corporate jumpsuit, so I'll put the link on the description box below. So for this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a palazzo pant using your basic pant block. So I'll be showing you how to modify your basic pants block to make your palazzo pants. Actually, this pants was made using a lining fabric. It's just for demonstration purpose. It has a side pocket and a zipper behind it. Okay, so I have a basic pants tutorial and I'll be leaving the link on the description box below. So to start off, you have to make a straight line on your pattern paper like so, and then you place your front pants block like this. Make sure the lines are aligning to the grain lines on your previous pants, and then you're going to trace out your pants block on it. After tracing out your front pants block, you need to extend the midline between the hip and the waist, the crotch line. You also need to extend the ankle line and also the hem line as well. So when you're done doing that, we go over to the next level. So the first thing you're going to do now is to mark 3/4 of an inch below the crotch line. After doing that, you have to mark 1 inch from your crotch line outward. Next, you need to make a smooth curve from here to this point. Next, you're going to mark 3 inches from this ankle line outward, and then you're going to mark the same at the other side of the pant. Then you're going to connect this point here to the ankle point right here. Then you're going to connect this point to the ankle point as well. As you can see, I've already made all the connections required, and next thing I did was to mark out the same 3.5 inches at the ankle line, at the hem line out, and at the other side as well. And I've also connected this point to these points. Your front pattern is ready, and we're going over to the back pattern. So we're going to repeat the same thing. You trace out your back pattern on your basic paper, and from this crotch line you're going to go down 1/2 inch. Then now you've gone down 1/2 inch, the next thing you're going to do is to mark 1 inch and another 1/2 inch beside it like so. Then at the ankle line I'm going to mark the same 3.5 inches out at the ankle line, and when I'm done doing that, I should have something like this. Then I'm going to connect from this point down to the ankle point, and from this point I'm going to mark all the way to here, but when I get to this knee point I'm going to stop and then smoothly mark a guideline towards the first point I marked at the crotch line like so. So the next thing I'm going to do here, this is the 3/4 of this line to avoid confusion. Okay, so this is the 3/4 of it. So what I'm going to do now is to smoothly connect this point to the crotch point like this, and when I'm done doing that, my back pattern is ready. All I need to do is to make a smooth connection from this crotch point up to this point, and then I'll cut out my pattern. So now my pattern pieces are ready. What I need to do next is to true it to make sure that the crotch lines align to each other. And how I'm going to do that is this: I make sure my grain lines are together. So I'm going to move this pattern, the front pattern, like I'm going to sew it. I'm going to move it out like this, okay, and I'm going to tilt it, the crotch line, to align to each other like this. So this makes you to make sure that your crotch line aligns together and you're not going to have any frown lines in between your legs. So when you're done making your pattern, you start off with cutting out your pattern. As you can see, I've added 1/2 inch seam allowance all through, but because my zipper will be at the back, this is my back pants block, I added few more inches to the zip allowance. And also I've also cut the front pieces as well. And I've also added my seam allowances all through. If your zipper should be in the front, you should add more seam allowance at this area. So when you're done with that, we're going to go over with making the pockets, and this is about 7 inches at this point and 10 inches long. So what I'm going to do is place my front piece on it to make the pocket. So from here, I've indicated my seam allowance and I've marked 7 inches down from the waist down. And what I'm going to do is that I marked 1.5 inches from this seam allowance inward, and I've made a curved line towards this point. And when I'm done doing that, what I'm going to do is to slash off this curve I've made like so. And in the material I have within for my pocket, I only cut out the upper layer like so, leaving the inner one. By the way, this area is closed, so make sure yours is closed too. So what I'm going to do next here is to create a pattern for my waistband, and I'm going to mark my actual waist measurement without adding extra inches for the dart. And I'm going to determine the length of my waistband. So I'm leaving this at 2.5 inches, and I'm going to complete this line by tracing towards this area down to the waistline measurement. So when I'm done, I should have something like this, and I've also added my seam allowance. So what I did next is to mark 1/2 inch up and 1/2 inch up towards this area, and I'm going to connect it to the midpoint of this line like so, and from here towards this area too. And when I'm done doing that, I should have something like this, and this is my waistband. I'm simply going to cut this out to use it to trace out my pattern for the back side of the waistband. So when I place it on another sheet of paper, I mark exactly the same thing, but what I did was to add extra allowances for the zip allowance. So when I'm done marking the waistband, I'll go over to the sewing proper. So I'm going to start off with sewing the side pocket, and I'm going to place my pocket on each other like this, and I'm going to sew it like so. So when I'm done sewing it, I also went ahead to notch this area. I'm going to show you 2 methods for sewing this. This is the first method. For method A, I'm going to fold this pocket towards the right side of our pants, and I'm going to sew the bottom part first. So when I'm done sewing the bottom part like so, what I'm going to do is to flip it towards the back, and our pocket is ready. All I just need to do is to sew the sides and the upper part like so. So when I'm done doing that, our side pocket is ready. Very simple. So I'm going to, when you flip it behind, you're going to see this, and you're just going to finish this up with an interlock machine. Now for method B, after sewing your pocket piece to the side of your pants, previously in method A, we flipped in towards the right side and stitched the bottom part, but in this method B, we're going to flip towards the wrong side of your pant, and we're going to stitch the bottom part. As you can see, this is method A while this is method B. The only difference is that these areas seem to be closed for the method B, so you choose the one you like and do. So here I'm going to start off with sewing the inner seam of our pants together, both the front and back, and then the outer seam as well to each other. Then I'm going to work on the belt holder. I'm simply going to sew along this area, and when I'm done with that, I'm going to also sew this part together, and I'm going to flip this inside out. So I'm simply going to cut this into pieces, and when I'm done, our next thing I'm going to do is to move the stitch part in between this area, stitch it together, and I'm going to place it around the waist area of my pants. Now I'm going to sew the waistband along the upper part like so, both the front and the back pieces. And when I am done sewing it, I'm going to flip the front side open, that is the right side of the waistband open, and I'm going to take a piece of the back piece, put it right side to right side, and sew the side seam together for both sides. And when I'm done, I should have something like this. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to sew the lower part all together, and then when I'm done, I'll stitch it to my pant like so. Then to finish off, I have to hold this my belt holder down like so and stitch it to the waist of my pants, and my pants is ready. Thank you guys for watching. I hope I'll catch you guys in my next tutorial. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.